Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. I'm here with Anthony Jeselnik, again, a guy I'm a big fan of. Jeselnik Offensive on Comedy Central just got picked up. So when's that coming back again?
July 9th.
July 9th.
Back, yeah.
And you're on tour in between. Mm-hmm. Now, are you getting asked to do movies and stuff? Do you have to, like, have you turned stuff down? That seems cool, but you have to because of your schedule?
I've gotten, like, almost like a loaded audition kind of thing where it's like, okay, you're on this thing, your agent's pushed you in it, you should get this, and I still don't get it. Like, I'm a terrible actor.
Is that true?
I'm not good. I only want to do kind of what I do. I'm not interested in acting.
I know.
Pretending I'm someone else is dumb. I'll come in and be myself and be a jerk.
You just hit something so right to me. Like, a lot of like, to me, that's why Chris Tucker is better than Chris Rock in a movie. Because Chris Rock is like a genius.
Yeah.
And Chris Tucker, you know, if you tell a real smart person, like an acting class, to be a tree, like, I'm not going to do that. But it's easy for a dumb guy.
Sure. They want to be someone else. They'll say, I'll go in an audition, and they'll go, that's great. Could you read it faster? And I say, no. I'm just going to leave and not do this.
Why waste each other's time?
Yeah, I'm not funny faster. I'm funny at my own pace. If you want it, great. But
yeah, so just you're better off you just do what you want to do.
I like if someone offers me, if they're like, hey, we offered you a role to be on Mark Maron's new TV show, I'm there. I'll show what time they need to be there. I'm in, and I'll do whatever they want.
Right, because
when they're like audition for it, screw you.
The auditioning process it's brutal. It's brutal.
I'm not a good test taker.
No, I know. Even when it is loaded and like they respect you or whatever, it's still disgusting.
Yeah, they'll be like, no thanks, but we like your show. I'm like, all right, great. That's all I need. Just think I'm funny.
Now you were dating Amy Schumer for a long time. How long did you guys date for?
Oh Christ, too long. On and off for a while. We're still friends, you know.
What is that like an argument between you two guys? Like just insanely cynical.
It's funny. We got in an argument today.
Right.
And I don't think she would be upset if I talked about this, but she was like, you know, on your TV show, sometimes you go a little too far, and I think you should just think about if that's really what you want to be, and if you're going to be that guy. And I was like. And afterwards, I texted her. I was like, "Listen, I don't need that from you. I don't need that criticism from you." And she called me and bitched me out.
Really?
For half an hour. And at the end, and I'm like, we're yelling at each other. I'm walking down the street. And at the end, I just go, "You're crazy. I hate you. You should kill yourself." And she laughs and says, "I love you too. I'll see you tonight." Like that's what fights are like with us. Where it gets brutal at the end. We just start laughing because it's so ridiculous.
Well, that's the problem. Is if you're doing that, if it's just one-sided, like, and the other person in the relationship isn't a comedian who might have that sense of humor. It's just me telling someone to go kill themselves.
Exactly.
And they burst into tears, and then their father wants to shoot me.
Yeah, we cannot hurt each other.
Well, that's the thing. You have thick skin of a comic, but then you have the thin skin of a comic too. Where you know, is there any competition? Like you guys are both, you know, the kings of Comedy Central now.
People assume there would be, but we're both so different, and we're just happy for each other. You know, I've got my thing going on, she's got hers. That we're not like, oh, whose ratings were better, what was this? We're thrilled for each other, and we're just doing different stuff.
Yeah, she's doing sketches. She's real good. I watch the show. She's really good in a sketch. She's a good actress.
Sure, but she likes talking about like her big thing is like talking about sex and like female empowerment, and that's great. But I'm like death and tragedy, so it's too different. We're not worried about having the same jokes. You know, it's not that big a problem.
John, you're from Pennsylvania, man.
Yeah.
Like this guy. This guy's a football player, though. But you know.
Yeah, we're both from PA. I'm interested in. I understand that you and Amy working together in an intimate setting, you can kind of hang with one another, and you end up laughing when you get in fights. But how's it work with like family and other friends when you're so dark and angry? Does that create problems?
No, because in my stand-up act, I talk about, I'll be like, my dad did this, or my dad did that, or my family, and it's all made up. So they know that, so they're okay. I think they might be upset if I was like, listen, here's a funny story that like how my dad abused me when I was a kid, you know, which they were not abusive at all, but they would be annoyed like you're telling family secrets. That they're cool with me, but they'll even sit me down sometimes and be like, that one was a little too, like with the TV show, that like when you made fun of that guy who died and showed his picture, that was a little too much. And I'm
I was gonna say, is there anybody? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 5.
Okay. Now, are they all right with everything you do?
They're proud. Yeah, they're excited to have a brother. But they don't care. Then they're not going to be like, hey, you should tone it down. They don't.
Well, there's two types of people. Like, you know, if you get some sort of fame in your life, some of them. The first like bunch of movies I was in, well, like, you know, got like 1 star, and and some guys love to just point out that the movie sucked, and some guys are just, hey, you're in a movie, you know, like there's 2 different types of people.
That's how I think. For me, it's like old friends from high school, friends from college. They feel like they can come up to you, they'll come and see a show, and they'll come up and be like, hey, that was great in the beginning, and then you kind of went down, and then you kind of came back up, and then you went down. You got to work on that. And I'm like, shut up. No one talks to me like that. You cannot. And some friends are, I'm proud of you, whatever you do. I'm excited for all your accomplishments.
Look, we're happy you made faking it, sort of, and some people, they're happy. You could tell some guys just revel in the fact that the paper just said you sucked in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck I got in the movie? Let's concentrate on that for 2 seconds.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Don't bring it up. You know.
Now, how many writers you got on the show?
I've got 6 writers.
Now, obviously, I was saying Frank, but like, how do you assemble a writing staff? Are there comics that you went to that were friends of yours that you liked, and you were like, can you write for my show? Or how'd you find the writers?
We've cast a wide net, said who wants to write for this.
Your show's so joke oriented, which I love about it, and you can tell you love telling jokes and you love a great joke. So you got to get great joke writers.
Absolutely.
First of all.
And they got to find my voice. And people, it's like I'm reading packets right now for season 2.
Right.
And people trying to do an impression of me and missing is painful. It is painful. So you really have to find that sweet spot. Even people like, they need a week or 2 to kind of get into the groove of what I like and what I don't like.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's got to be smarter than it is edgy and mean.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. But if it's smart enough that you get the laugh, then great.
Have you found yourself leaving in jokes that didn't get a great reaction, but you just love it? Like, will you do that?
I'll say this one's for me. I'll say I know this is gonna bomb, but I want to do it, and I'm happy for them to boo me. If I say something offensive, I'm not like, where's my applause? If people get mad, I'm like, fine, get mad, but it's okay. If someone gets offended, they get over it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
People are like, I was offended. So what?
Really?
You're gonna be okay.
No, I know. But people who get offended by stuff and take it longer than maybe 4 seconds, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Don't you have something to do?
Exactly.
Don't you have one thing to do in life that's going to take your mind away from this?
You
right
got
now?
bigger problems than being offended by this
My
thing.
God, so where's this tour taking you? All over the country? You're gonna go?
I've been all over the country, of just about. I do 3 cities a weekend, doing theaters and stuff on this thing, which is great. But I thought I would have this tour and then go on vacation for a little while. And I found out the show's coming right back, so I'm trying. I still have to work when I'm home. But I'm in New York this weekend, and then I go Houston, Dallas, New Orleans after Memorial Day. I have Memorial Day off. And then I finish it up in Vancouver, Portland, Seattle.
Are you going to do a stand-up special? Are you going to do something like that? Or are you just going to right back into the show? You don't have time.
I don't have time.
Yeah.
I put out a special in January, and I write one-liners. So even my newer jokes are even shorter because people are starting to. They can figure out my punchlines now because they're waiting on it. Right. So it's got to be shorter so they can't. So I write 10 new jokes, and it's a minute long.
I know, that's a lot.
So it takes a lot. So I think I'll have a special in a couple of years, but it's too tough with the show and everything.
Yeah, you should just concentrate on the show. I mean, like I say, and the other thing about your show is they're all great bits that are just a different way to tell a great joke. But I like the, I don't know what your relationship is with that guy T.J. Miller that you had on. Are you friends with him?
Good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's real funny, man.
Really funny and just out of his mind. He's tough to control.
What is that guy's history? Is he from New Zealand? You said?
No, he had gone to New Zealand to do the movie Yogi Bear 3D. And had like a meltdown.
Really?
And was performing at a comedy club and got banned from the club for life because someone was heckling him. And he just went after it so hard that they banned him. Yeah, that they banned him for life. So I got in trouble with New Zealand because I made a joke about a guy who got eaten by a shark.
Yeah, and that's sensitive thing over there.
It wasn't just we made a joke, we did a big dance number where I got like a lap dance from a girl in a shark costume. We were like, it's all for this guy, and we showed his picture and his name.
Man.
And we're like, and he had a family and everything, and they were so upset that when TJ came on, when TJ came on, he brought it up. And I was like, no one in New Zealand's gonna see this, and they all saw it, and were upset.
Yeah, they tend to get mad. Being like, when you think of a joke, and you got Twitter at your disposal, and yet you have the monologue for your show. Like, what's the turnaround with your show? You tape a show, and how long before it airs?
Tape it Thursday, airs Tuesday.
Okay, so if you think of a great joke about a current event, do you immediately get it on Twitter, or do you try to wait if it's good enough to get it in the monologue?
It depends. If I think this joke is going to be funny now,
right?
Like when the Boston Marathon thing happened,
right?
I was like, and I knew we probably wouldn't be able to talk about it. I was hoping we would, but I thought, here's a tweet that's good for right now.
Yeah.
That kind of skirts the issue. No one can get upset by this joke. And I said, guys, today there are just some lines that shouldn't be crossed. Especially the finish line. And I thought I nailed it. I toed that line, and people were furious. And Comedy Central was mad.
They got mad, yeah.
And they made me take it down, which I was upset about.
You can't even discuss it at all in their eyes.
No, so that's why on the last episode I did a thing because we kept trying to pitch them things like, what about this about the Boston Marathon? They said, no, you can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. And I hate that. Like, if it's okay a week from now, it should be okay right now.
Yeah.
So finally, we had to do a thing with like the top 3 things you're not allowed to talk about at all for any reason whatsoever, for reasons that have been explained to us repeatedly. It was kind of like a big FU to Comedy Central. people for not.
No, I
wanting to
know.
talk about
Listen,
it.
I'm the same way. You get very rebellious as a comic, man. You got to be careful because you could really end like a lot of relationships when you get mad in the moment. But
Absolutely, but I'm gonna get mad. That's why I became a comic. It's a
Yeah. No,
natural
I know,
thing to get mad about. So they figured out. They
well, listen,
understand.
dude, I really am a big fan, man, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
I'm a huge fan of yours too. Thank
Oh,
you for
thank
having
you.
me.
Well, definitely, TV needs more guys like you, so I hope it lasts a long time.
Thanks, man.
And I'll be watching. Anthony Jeselnik. So you're at Anthony Jeselnik? Is that Twitter?
Yeah.
And AnthonyJeselnik.com, and look for that July. When's it coming back again?
July 9th, Tuesday, July 9th.
July 9th, the Jeselnik Offensive. Okay, thanks, man. And we'll be back with more of the Artie Lange Show after this.